Hello, everybody. This is John Paval with Access Arts Live. I'm doing a little special edition to give you a heads up about a concert coming up later today, Sunday, November 30th. Community Concerts at Second in Baltimore is hosting and live streaming musicians of the Baltimore Symphony playing quartets and quintets by Ellen Taffa-Zwilich, Jean-François, and Johannes Brahms, free of charge on YouTube, 3:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast in the U.S., half past noon on the West Coast, 9:30 in the evening here in Europe, 7:30 Monday morning down under in Australia, Eastern Daylight Time. Why am I doing this? Well, because I really like the Baltimore Symphony Musicians, and when I refer to them, that's a thing. We will give you the link to their website. This is a separate organization, and on a regular basis, they go out and do performances in the community like this, spreading classical music beyond the concert hall, which I think is a great thing that they're doing. So, and usually when I talk about them, I'm not able to give you all of their names and show you their pictures. And now this time I am doing so because it's a special edition. So let me talk to you about the pieces of music they'll be playing and who's playing what. They'll start out doing Ellen Taffa-Zwilich's Quintet for Clarinet and Strings. I don't know if they're doing the 1977 one that she composed or the one she composed in 1990. And I'll tell you in a minute why that would be relevant. This is Holly Jenkins and Kevin Smith on the violins, Jacob Shack on the viola, and Jamie on the cello. And the clarinetist is Vitor, I would pronounce it Trindade. It looks like a Brazilian name to me, but it's spelled like Trindade, American style. Anyway, and I think Jenkins is an associate concertmaster there and has been with the Baltimore Symphony for a decade already. Ellen Taffa-Zwilich is very interesting. Supposedly, she's one of the most performed American composers, and I don't know her. So shows you what I know. Anyway, born in 1939, apparently still with us. And she was the first she was the first woman to get a PhD in composition at Juilliard. Now, bear this in mind. If you follow Access Art Live, you heard this summer about all kinds of live streams by French composers like Mel Bonis, women composers who were, making their way into the business in like the beginning of the 20th century. And Juilliard didn't get around to giving out a PhD to a woman composer until 1975. Lily Boulanger, when she was a very young French composer, and she died tragically young, she won the Prize of Rome for composing during the 19 teens. And it took Juilliard until 1975? I'm astonished. But anyway, she was also the first female composer to win the Pulitzer Prize for Music in 1983 for Symphony No. 1. Now, the reason why, and she originally got her bachelor's at Florida State, and for the last few decades, she has been a distinguished professor at Florida State. So the circle has come around. Why does it make a difference what year it was? Well, she started out experimenting with atonal music and very jagged, challenging kind of stuff in the 70s. Now, and in her biography, we're told that her husband, who was a violinist playing for the New York Met, died in 1979. And thereafter, she changed her compositional style into something that they refer to as being postmodern and neo-romantic. So depending on whether they're playing the 1977 quintet for clarinet and strings or the 1990 makes a huge difference in terms of musical style. I suggest you tune in and you figure it out and let us know in the comments section. After that, they will then do a wind quartet by Jean-François, who was born in 1912. And this piece, I think, was composed when he was only 21 years old in 1933, when he was a protege of Nadia Boulanger, the older sister of Lily. This will be played by Melissa Hooper on the oboe, Christine Murphy on the flute, Victor Trindade or Trindade on the clarinet, and Skylar Jackson on the bassoon. François came from a musical family. His father was a musicologist. and the head of the Le Mans Conservatory, which is where he was born. Nadia Boulanger took him under his wings when he was in his 20s. And so this quartet was written while he was under the sway of Nadia Boulanger, for sure. He was known for just constantly writing. Every time he finished a composition, he would come up with a new one. He wrote concertos, symphonies, opera, theater, ballet, chamber music, cantatas. He wrote film scores for Sasha Guitry. He was around until the late 90s and just kept composing and composing and composing. I'm not familiar with Jean-Français either. So I will look forward to discovering this. And then they will finish up with Johannes Brahms's Piano Quartet No. 1 in G minor, Opus 25. No surprise to anybody. Everybody knows who Brahms is, so I'm not going to tell you more about him. That'll be played by Boram Kang on the violin, Peter Minkler on the viola, Holgen Joni on the cello, and Wan Chi Su on the piano. Wan Chi is not with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, but she plays often in contexts like this with chamber music with members of the Boston Symphony. So, folks, that's what's up later today. I'll give you the time again, 3:30 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. That's 12:30 on the West Coast, 9:30 in the evening if you're here in Europe, as am I, and 7:30 tomorrow morning, Monday morning down under in Australia, in places like Sydney and Melbourne on the east coast of Australia. Chapeau to both community concerts at Second and to the Baltimore Symphony Musicians for doing this kind of taking some very sophisticated chamber music, taking it out into the neighborhoods and beyond the immediate concert hall. Ciao for now. I'll be back tomorrow with the usual 6 o'clock in the evening roundup of orchestral and operatic works this week, and we've got a load of that, something like a dozen different live streams. Bye.